Welcome to BackChat, powered by Paywise. We bloody love Paywise because they've been supporting us for a long time now, and they make the podcast happen, and we make Paywise happen, and Simo has happened, and all of that. Will Schofield, welcome to BackChat. Just a quick hello from you, please.
Why does it feel like we're not locked in? Like,
No, we're locked in.
Whoa!
We're locked in.
Whoa!
No, we're
like
fine.
it just seems to me that we're not
Don't-
locked in.
don't
That's
speak
based
that
on
out.
nothing other than the figure. Like it's a bit of a fear.
Don't put that out into the
Bit of
atmosphere,
a
please.
vibe. But hi.
But welcome to Hamish Brayshaw,
Yeah.
Mr. 25 and 2.
Yeah, hey.
Got the W
Yeah, we
on the
did.
weekend, but more importantly, played against Luke Gregor.
Yeah, I did play against Luca Gregor.
Did
You saw him in the flesh?
Saw him in the flesh, played on him a little bit, and
You're impressed.
I was impressed. I was impressed with him. I was impressed with his size. I was impressed with his strength.
You were impressed. Do you know how many touches?
No, he didn't have a heap of it.
13-1. That's pretty
He
good.
didn't have a heap of it.
Good goal. Best goal.
Yeah, it was a good goal. Good goal. Look, he was good. I was happy with him. It was hard for him. Here's to Luca Gregor's defence.
Why is that? Hang on.
We had
What's he done
because
wrong?
in terms of
Oh,
why
they lost by 10 goals.
they lost by 10 goals. He was coming up against a Scott Jones, who is the biggest son of a bitch of all time.
Why was Luca Grego in the ruck?
Jonesy's in their midfield, but we've got Jones. We've got
That's where we're
Jonesy.
at.
Gregor's in the
We've
ruck.
got Jonesy just giving it to us wherever we want, and Luca's just like, well, fuck, okay. So they need to get a bit better at that.
I got to be honest. I thought you meant that.
Lucas
That
in
guy,
the-
right,
Luca
guys?
Grego's in the
Our ruck
ruck.
situation is grim. We're in
Luca's
trouble.
in there.
Luca Grego's going up against Scott Jones.
No, he was good. We just got over him. We were a bit too good, but that's all right. They're young and they're getting better, and I like Luca Grego.
Great. Well,
Came up and gave me a big slap up after the game.
Did he?
Daffed me up hard.
Did it hurt your hand?
Did you beat South Freo or South Freo beat you? No.
We haven't played South Freo yet.
I was going to
They
say.
beat South Freo
I
last
know.
week.
So I thought maybe you beat South Freo and
Yep.
then they beat South Freo. So basically,
Luca Gregor's the best player of all time. Which is essentially what that means.
Is that what that means? Yeah.
A couple of comments from YouTube off the top. Shout out to Tennis Analytica. AFL in 2025 illustrated perfectly by Fremantle Melbourne last week. Dominate clearance, stoppage, and lose. Turnover efficiency battle. This is a transition game and not a field position game now. A little comment. Thank you for writing in.
I think Tennis. Did Tennis ask us a question on Hammer's Happy Hour on Friday?
yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Actually went to school with Tennis Analytica. We found out...
Is his name actually Tennis?
Yes.
Like Tennis Sangren? Isn't he the tennis player and his name's actually Tennis?
No,
That's
it's
pretty
not.
Tennis Sangren is a
Did he change
professional
it?
tennis player whose name is Tennis.
Perfect.
I feel like he was born for it.
Yeah, it'd be like me being called football.
Sandover Brayshaw.
actually
Also,
change
shout out Jaiden Productions, who,
Hang on.
with a nice comment here.
I was going to answer that
Oh,
question.
like,
Yeah,
let's
we
just,
answer
I'll
tennis.
just,
Let's answer tennis
Okay.
question.
yeah,
Well,
go.
it's an interesting concept because Freo I've never seen. It's like 64 inside 50s to like 12 and lose. But was that because Collingwood transitioned the ball better? Yeah, they did.
They certainly did.
But Freo also butchered it going inside.
Freo transitioned the ball the worst it's ever been transitioned. Ever.
I think
Is
that's
that
his actual
factual?
stat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it was the slowest transition in any game recorded or something from deep 50 to forward 50.
Why do they do that?
Because I just don't know. And I'm not sure. I don't like it, and it's frustrating me. But anyway,
Okay. Well, that's
So you might be right.
becoming a
Okay.
transition game.
It's a great comment. Jaiden Productions says, and with a nice comment here, any trolls out there, lay off with the Henry Brayshaw stuff. He's in love and getting married. End of story.
We love love, all right?
We love love.
We do love love.
Look, if we treated this sort of like, the West Coast Eagles or any other AFL side,
Would have put out a statement.
This is a bit of a topic that a statement would have gone out from BackChat, right? And we would have just said, look, just letting everyone know, this isn't something we're going to speak about in the future. And we can't actually comment on it right now.
No, we can't.
Yeah, we can't.
There's different touch points to this across both family as well as personal areas that we're just going to not breach.
Sounds like we're
and so the AFL, what else is getting breached? So the AFL or West Coast or whoever put that out would then just cop vitriol online for like,
Oh, yeah,
this
of
is
course.
bullshit. This is the biggest topic we've ever seen. how are you not going to talk about it? And again, as us in this scenario where we're the club leaders go, no further comment. No further comment.
Are we still talking about my cousin-in-law?
yeah.
Your cousin-in-law.
What is going on?
Anyway, they had an engagement party the other weekend.
Yeah, didn't get the invite.
Oh,
Did ya?
shit.
No.
Did ya?
Sorry, boys.
It looked good.
Must have got lost in the mail.
Let's get going. There's some good ones coming through from.
No more messages on that though, because the statement's gone out. Please don't message
stop
us.
sending them through. I don't
I'm
worry.
out.
That's enough.
Ronnie Blue and Co.
Okay, Aaron says, Scully and Hammer, with the new AFL game out, what would your player ratings be?
Great question.
Great question.
Yeah,
To start
great question.
the show.
Azza.
And I want to break this down into sort of like, I don't think
Attributes.
pace would be
No.
overly high
Pace
for
would be
you.
a 0 for me.
And are we talking prime Scully and prime Brayshaw?
Yeah,
Prime
yeah.
Scully, prime Brayshaw.
I mean, prime Brayshaw's now. Obviously.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with.
I feel like Sandover
Sandover
Brayshaw.
Brayshaw. Sandover Brayshaw.
And I'll have if it's okay.
Premiership Schofield?
Nah, because I've played like 10 games that year.
That's true, you did.
I would say 2015.
2015 Schofield,
Like
yeah.
reinvention as a
Mackenzie
down.
down.
Yeah.
Long hair,
Brown
long hair,
Brown
Schofield.
down.
Long hair.
Long hair Schofield, yeah.
Right, that's 2015 grand final.
All right. What attributes are we going to rank? Skills.
Yeah, overall, obviously.
Overall.
Skills,
Pace. Strength.
Yep.
Decision making.
Yep. We'll do
And-
5 because we got overall there, but 5 individuals and 1 overall.
One more individual.
Can we break down? Why don't we break down handballing?
I mean, you've
and
got
kicking?
no. Yeah. Oh, so that's in skills, right?
Like
Handballing.
kicking, handballing. I want to do kicking, handballing, marking, strength, decision making, pace, overall.
Boy, I've written
7.
a lot of things.
No. So here we do it.
Yeah.
Because skills is just everything. Because I think everyone should be, like, realistically,
Okay.
you're an
Alright,
AFL footballer, your
alright,
handball's
alright.
91.
So take away kicking,
You
marking,
should never
handball.
miss a handball.
So skills,
Skills,
decision making.
decision making, strength,
Yes.
pace, fitness.
Endurance, great.
Endurance.
Yes.
Endurance. Oh, yeah, that's
All right. So let's start
Out of
off.
100,
Out of 100, yeah.
each of these, and then an overall ranking out of 100.
Each of them are out of 100.
Let's go skills first.
Jaiden, could you write this down? I'm struggling over here, mate.
So,
Thank you.
You're busy.
Yeah, I'm busy.
so I think skills is a hard one because you're ranking it against, like, who's 100? Is it out of? Are you ranking yourself like, is 100 the best player and 0 is the worst player?
Yes. No.
It's not a bell curve. It's
No,
like
because you
15
see some
something.
rookies getting like a 54.
Yeah, okay.
54 skills is pretty bad.
That's bad.
Whereas you got like Lewis Jetta.
Jets is the best
90
kick I've ever
97.
seen. So he's a 97. I would give myself for overall skills.
Should we rank each other or each other? Are we ranking ourselves or
Yeah, let's rank each other. I'll rank you. You rank me.
skills for you?
You start, so I know where you're setting the bar.
Yeah, I'd give you a 78.
Yeah, I was going to be about that,
Wow,
actually. I
okay.
was around about that mark
Yeah.
for myself. I will give you... See, it's hard because in your position, you don't really need
Different
to...
type of skills, but
Yeah,
we're just
it
saying overall skills package.
Overall skills, I'm going to give you an 80 because you don't play...
I was going to say 81, but
You don't
80's
play,
fair.
you don't play nearly
fair.
200 games without being skillful, so
Yeah,
you can
correct.
have an 80.
And I'm a little bit better than you.
You
Just a little bit.
You're a lot better. So I'll give you an 80.
So I didn't get 81?
Have an 81. Have an 81. Have an 81. All right, 81 versus 78.
Strength.
Strength?
93 for Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong
93,
boy.
like this is the, yeah.
This is where I come in.
93, like not, 97 sort of like Quinn and Lynch areas.
He's
We're
fucking
talking like Scott Cummings back in the day, like that's strong.
Yeah.
You're strong, it's not that strong. 93. 93 is big.
But, like, you're stronger than me.
Remember 2015?
Yeah, 2015, you were just coming into your Dower area.
Yeah.
So you still had a bit of speed about you back then, and maybe strength wasn't your go. But you were still a big man. So I think just by size, I'm going to give you an 87.
Yeah, I'd be lower than you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
87.
Arm wrestle.
I've been-
You should arm wrestle. for it.
87 is a bit stiff, but that's good.
Nah,
That's
I'm
good,
happy
that's
with 87.
good. Decision making.
Decision making.
Decision making.
Now, see, this one is really interesting for you because you're like, if you look at a guy like, let's say, Lewis Jetta, his decision making is so wide because he can access every part of the ground.
Yes.
Whereas
yes.
I don't think you even think about that because you're just so locked in with. But 2015, you were making small decisions, but they're always the right one.
Used to kick out a little bit. Yeah, because if it's wrong, use a goal.
It's wrong, you're in trouble. I'm going to give you. I think I'm going to give you a 91 for decision making.
These are high ratings.
Yeah, but like, obviously we're going to
Just for some reference,
obviously
the highest rated players in AFL 26 overall. So so the best one is Patrick Cripps at 94.
Yeah, but this is like us. Well, obviously,
Zach Butters is 91.
So I'm better.
So you're,
than Butters.
Yeah, but we're
getting
not gonna
Zach
give each
Butters,
other like
Max Holmes,
64.
Dan Houston. Yeah, thank you.
This
There we
is
go.
good.
I'm not going to give you like a 70.
Decision making Hammer. Look, midfielders dime a dozen. 83.
Yeah, that's fair. I panic sometimes.
pretty-
Sometimes I just get it and kick it.
It's pretty. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's good.
83. I'm pretty happy with that.
Endurance.
Uh,
I'll give you.
yeah, you go for me first.
I'll
This
give
is
you
not
a-
my strong suit.
68.
Oh, I was thinking
that's
68.
high for me.
I was
64.
thinking
That's
64.
64, yeah.
64, okay.
I'm not an endurance athlete.
Yeah.
And neither are you.
Jeez, I'm a good player because I just...
Yeah, you're on pace for like a 90 overall.
No, 15 endurance. I was at the back. I was
Yeah, you're not an
pump
endurance.
this down. I'm talking. Yeah,
You're not an endurance athlete. No. You
it's
were.
got a 6 in front of it, definitely.
Yeah. You certainly. But
Got a 6 in front.
I think I'm going to give it 68
Yep, great.
because I don't I think I could probably back in. You're 15 versus my Sandover. I think we're running pretty similar, but you've got the contest fitness. So 68.
Okay.
What was the other one?
Speed.
Oh, we haven't done speed.
You're actually underratedly not that slow.
I'm very quick.
You're very quick.
Like I said, this is going to be one of the great ratings of all time.
So I'm going to give you you're not a 99. You're certainly not a 99. And I don't think it starts with a 9, although you're close.
No, it doesn't.
I did beat you both in the 40-meter dash.
We're not doing you though, Dan.
We're not talking about you.
We're talking about fistball.
I'm going to
Dan.
give you an 84 for speed.
Yeah, I'll give you
That's
a 63.
Yeah, I'm not quick.
How was a freight train?
Yeah, I get going
Yeah.
and just.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
All right, so some maths.
I feel like this is fair. Like, and this is not being personal or Hammer. Like, you haven't even played 200 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Played one.
No,
One
it's
of the
fine.
greats.
One of the great games of all time.
Yeah, but
So what is that?
Sandover
That'll
Hammer
give-
doesn't
never
turn
lost.
him into Chris Judd.
Let's just call that 80 plus 9. Let's call that a 75. I reckon.
9, 79,
I reckon it's 7. Yeah, something like that. And you would be like an 80.
100.
84?
The
85?
84.
That looks like an
feels
84,
better.
maybe 84.
It's pretty good.
And I think that's reasonable.
I feel really good. 79 is probably a bit high, but it's good.
Like premiership player, no, 70 high. No, well,
77.
Give me like
77.
70. I'm 76. I reckon 74.
76.
74. But that's Sandover medalist, like the best
Yeah,
player
yeah.
in the
That's good.
second tier. Comp.
Oh, there you go.
All right, happy with that.
Great question.
I think I'm probably
Thanks.
a bit
That's
over.
probably all we've got time for today on the show.
Great. I hope everyone really enjoyed it.
Great question on YouTube.
Beautiful
Oh,
No more
that's
questions.
great.
No more questions about Hammer and his family as well.
Okay, yeah, please stop
let's
saying
get
this. Sorry.
into footy.
Should we get into some actual footy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It was officially the closest round in AFL history with an average margin of 10.33 points across the 9 games. It didn't come any closer than the Boners and the Lions, who finished on 71 points apiece. Hammer, please, how are you feeling?
I'm glad we started with this, by the way. Are you okay?
Why? Riddle me this. Riddle me this. Switch inside. There's a minute and a bit to go.
Yep. Charlie Common.
The switch is on.
Yeah. Charlie Common.
Charlie Common, what a beautiful intercept mark.
Jeez, you play well in the last
Switch inside. Costanti has the ball running.
quarter. Yes.
Dylan Stevens is running on his inside.
Outside.
No,
Or was
he's
inside?
He was on his inside.
Free.
They're 100 metres away from goal. Could have, and it's a draw.
Yes.
Riddle me this. Why the fuck do you kick it to a one-on-one leading 50 metres away
To
to Harris Andrews?
No. Jack Payne.
Was it Jack Payne? Well, either fucking way. Instead of giving that handball, letting him run in, and if you watch it back, I think Colby McKercher's running inside 50 by himself. You could have run to 60 and had a shot and kicked a point to win the game. Instead, you've tried to lace someone out from 100 metres away, spoil out of bounds, draw.
It was a poor decision.
A horrible decision. Now, look, if you told me at the start of the game, we'll take a draw against Brisbane, fucking oath we would. Absolutely you would. I'm taking that every day of the week. 2 points is 2 points. But you're telling me we've got a chance for 4? I said last week on Friday's Hammer's Happy Hour.
You didn't call it.
In lead up to the game, I said, yeah, Brisbane are good. Yeah, it's going to be tough. But I'll tell you what, they don't have a Tristan Sherry. And oh boy, they didn't. Tristan Sherry took the fucking piss. Gave the ball to LDU. George Wardlaw attacks the Sharon harder than anyone I've ever seen. Nick Larkey's a star. Cam Zurhaar's a star. Charlie Combin's just a fucking weapon. We've got all the pieces of the puzzle.
How many games you won?
Not many, 6 in a couple of years. We've got all the pieces of the puzzle, and we just don't know how to win. That is a learned skill. You have to give the fucking handball there.
Clarko didn't look happy.
Oh, he was flat.
He was pretty flat in the
just
box.
he was
He
devastated.
was flat from about halfway through the first. They kept cutting it, and he was just like...
Oh, he's doing the mouth covering.
It's just at the end of that, you sit there and you think to yourself, that's one that got away.
I've got to be honest.
Can I just say to you, Hammer, though, like, wouldn't you almost rather this because it means that you sit... Just hold on. Would you rather the second pick in the draft or the third pick in the draft?
Hang on a minute. I'm not worried about draft picks, mate. We're
a
winning
flag.
games. We've still got finals on the cards. We're eyeing off finals.
How many games have you won this year? Is it 2 or 1?
One. And I don't get. We should have won 2. I don't give a shit about. Actually, should have won about 3 or 4.
To be honest,
Should have beat Essendon. Should have beat.
you've
Port
just
Adelaide.
drawn with the top of the ladder.
We're drawn with the reigning premiers. We are a premiership side. We're a premiership contending side.
You can compete with premiers. Is it the same thing?
In that case, we're a premiership contender. You can compete with premiers. You're a premiership contender, obviously.
Mate, the moment you speak about, and footy isn't about just one single moment.
It's certainly not, but fuck, you can scrutinise them.
But that one there, mate, is junior footy sort of stuff. Like when you're playing Oz kicking, like we need a point to win, like kick it to the top of goal square. What are we chiseling to Nick Larkey for? Against Jack Payne, who is, I believe, second in the Jack
Was that the
Payne
huge double fist spoil?
Oh, yeah, mate. Some poor resident in Tasmania is nursing a very sore jaw from that ball straight into the crowd. Yeah, it was poor. It was poor. Charlie Common, though, as a backman. Jeez, I was impressed with him.
Goodness gracious me.
He took like 4 intercept mark in the last 5 minutes.
What a player. So he was out there and he thought to himself, you know what? You guys want to fucking win the game? I'll tell you what. It's up to you guys. You want to go and win? I can't kick your goals for you. I physically cannot do that because I'm too far away.
Maybe you should.
But I'm too far away. You guys, if you want to win it, go and win it. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lose it for us. He was fucking exceptional.
I was here for the reaction. I just was watching this game and I'm texting you. I said, mate, strap yourself.
I was not on my phone. I was just watching. Could not stop watching the television. I was so ready to just explode. Seriously, the shin boner was just... It was a pulsating shin boner.
It was boner time. And you missed it. And we don't get to see that.
Who you got this week?
Don't care.
You can't be better than Brisbane, so they'll win. You win. Is it a guaranteed win?
It's a guaranteed win.
And they can't be better than Brisbane, top of the ladder?
I think we might have
Richmond. You're playing Richmond?
Oh, my God.
Say it now.
We win. North Melbourne win this week. We get back on the board. Although Richmond are in red hot form, we win.
They're not in red hot form.
Yeah, let's beat the West Coast
We
Eagles.
win by 6 goals.
Right.
All right.
Love it.
No less than 6
Love
goals. What's the line? 6 goals.
Doesn't matter.
6 goals is the line, I think. Fuck it. I'm going to set it right here. I'll take any bets on that. Anyone want bets, hit me up. 6 goals, 36 and a half. I'll give us 6 and a bit.
All right. Oh, yeah. Also, this is... Sorry, Jaiden.
This
I was meant to bring this up as well. The North Melbourne and Brisbane had the exact same way of scoring to the point of rush behinds, which post they hit, and the left behind scoring shot or the right.
How crazy
is
found that?
Someone on Twitter
So we can't claim
posted
it.
it. No, we can't claim it. I think someone put it on Reddit or Twitter or something.
Holy moly,
like that.
we're in the
Four
Matrix.
behinds in the left, one left point post.
Does this smell of a bit of a rigged game?
Script.
Hammer?
It's the script. It's the AFL script.
Does that smell a little bit like the NBA rigging games? Does that smell like what the Rock is cooking?
Nah, because if the AFL were going to rig anything, it would be against us. Because they
51
fucking
inside
can't stand
50s
it.
each.
Oh, and I'll tell you what else.
10
Paul
centre
Curtis.
clearances
Imagine
each.
if we had a Paul Curtis here. Please, we win. Imagine if we had a Paul Curtis.
Oh boy,
Wish the West Coast Eagles had Jack Darling right now.
Jack Darling.
He's been good.
We had a little bit of a banana opportunity.
Yeah.
Missed one
Still.
late.
Kick it on your left, Jack.
No, bananas from there. I'd back him in most of the time from there. Gale force
I did
wins.
say that he was going to kick it when
Yeah.
I was watching it. I probably gave him the early
All right, that's not
reverse
bad.
cry.
All right. This Saturday, the Fremantle Dockers will take on the GWS Giants at NG Stadium and will be facing the possibility of a 4-6 start after the first 10 games. Will, this is one for you. At what point do they need to make a drastic change, or do they just stick to the course and see what happens?
What drastic changes are going to... No drastic changes. I really think the issue is here, external expectations aren't meeting reality. And internal expectations that they've promoted externally aren't meeting reality. If they had come out at the start of the year and they were like, look, we've got a pretty thin list. If we lose some players that sort of are in our 15 to 23 range, i.e. Fife, Walters, O'Driscoll, O'Meara, anyone else who's not playing that's in that sort of range, if we're going to lose some of those guys, our rucks are going to be kind of injured. Hayden Young's going to hurt himself again. Our two best midfielders are guns. We all know that. And we've got a pretty good key forward line, Josh Tracy and Jai Amos, but he's going to kind of not have the year that we want him to have. And then our back line's under the pump because we move the ball like pretty slowly and we just kind of want to grind out games. We haven't really done that at the start of the year. And, we know that, fans don't necessarily love our coach, but like we kind of like him and he's pretty boring in press conferences, but we kind of like that. If they had started the season with that explanation, Hammer, most Freo fans would just be like, oh, sweet, they told us this was going to happen. But instead...
What a horrible way to start the year.
Instead...
Don't expect anything.
That had him in the press release.
Instead, it's like, flag's coming. That's pretty much all I heard at the breakfast was we're a final side, we're guns. We were pretty crap last year, but we're winning the flag.
It's an exceptionally bold strategy to come out with the former and just say we aren't very good and nothing's going to happen. Like you can't do that as a footy club.
Can't win. But that's it. Like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but that's what they did.
But no club, every single club wants to win as many games as they can and win a flag.
Yes,
obviously. Even the very best clubs come out at the start of the year and say like, we want to make finals.
Like Geelong,
Brisbane. Collingwood, Brisbane. It's like they're not coming out and saying we're going to win the flag or we want to win the flag this year. It's like we just want to make finals is the goal and then we go from there. You don't really talk about winning grand finals until you've locked finals away. And so to go from missing out last year to being like we're going to finish top 4 and win a flag is a bit. But you're right. They've got exceptionally good top level talent and then it just thins quick. And the injuries have come at, but they're just moving the ball so slow. And shit. It's like, in what fucking world are you going to win games of footy?
Sam Mitchell reportedly came down to Hawthorn at 3/4 time, and you would have seen this under Mitch, definitely.
You would have.
He came back and said, "You guys are that boring. I'm so bored in the coach's box. What you are doing right now is boring. Boring for the fans. It's boring for the coaches. You're boring. Play better." That's what his message was, and they came out and smacked him in the fourth quarter. That's what needs to happen at Freo.
Well, Sam Mitchell's mantra was always and has, I imagine it still is like every one of you out here is on an AFL list for one reason or two reasons. Like, what's your best thing? Just do that. Just do your best thing. Let us all pick the slack up for your bad things, but just do your best thing. Like CJ, run as fast as you can because we'll get people to defend behind you. John Newcomb, just be big and strong in there, and that's it. That's your thing. Do that. And I just think at the moment, Fremantle are too scared to do that. No one's doing that.
That's 65 inside 50s to like 30. It can't have been that bad.
Yeah, but like the 65 inside 50s are who's breaking away and having a bounce and like lacing someone out as opposed to just, here's a big snap. Josh Tracy will be there somewhere to get it. That's just not, Anyway, their answer is, I don't know what the fuck to do. The problem is they just can't, they're very slow at transitioning the ball.
Yes.
So like the 65 inside 50s.
Yes.
Because you move it slow, Collingwood just get numbers back. And Collingwood, and also it didn't help that their defenders were fucking good.
Collingwood's unbelievable.
Collingwood are really good.
No side in the competition could take 4 of their top 8 players out and win.
Yeah.
Let alone compete.
And
imagine
having 4 of your top 5 player, 4 of your top 8 players out and having your best player tagged out of the game.
Correct. So like
they had 3 of their top 8 players playing and they still
name some of these like GWS, like Jesse Hogan, Lockie Whitfield,
Tom Green, and
not their very, very best, but like someone else who's good. Like
Jesse Hogan is almost their very
no. I mean, not all their best players. It wasn't like Collingwood's best. Like Nick Dacos played, Darcy Moore played. True. So it wasn't that. But
it'd
it's
be like Josh Kelly's out.
Yeah,
Josh Kelly misses.
Yeah. And then you go and beat Geelong in Geelong, which they wouldn't have done. Yeah. Anyway, you do it 100 times.
Freo tagged Dacos pretty well though.
Nick Dacos untaggable. Bullshit. That was great. I loved every bit of. Andrew was doing it. So Wagner was doing it. Did they stop that?
No. So the plan was, after the fact I've spoken to Andrew about it, it was first 5 minutes.
Yes.
Andrew just goes with him and give it everything.
Yeah.
Wags was on the bench, so Wagner started on the bench and was like, mate, just give me everything you got.
Why did Wagner just start on him?
No, because it was like
a bit of a trick play.
Well, no, because he's too fit. He's too fit to have someone go. So the plan was Andrew go as hard as he can for 5, Wagner play the rest.
Wow.
And it was like, Wags literally said, give me everything you got, mate.
I was watching it, mate.
Andrew come to the bench and he was just like, I'm fucked. I'm knackered.
Really?
But after the first 5 minutes, comes to the bench and goes, he hasn't touched it, mate. And he hadn't. And he went back out there. But yeah, they were running a few people through him. Then he went forward and Jordan Clark took the role. So they stopped his influence.
No, but he's still
Collingwood are just good enough to win.
And Nick Dacos still impacted. It wasn't like he was just shut up shop. He was taking marks in the forward line.
Not a contested though. Anyway,
all right, let's stay in the West. The Eagles were that close to finally getting their first win since round 22, all the way back in 2024. But it wasn't to be, falling to Richmond by 2 points. And to go along with this, we do have a super comment from JD Eagles. Thank you very much. Hey guys, West Coast lost the game in the third quarter. Couldn't finish the game. Enjoying all the BackChat shows. Well, we enjoy your comment, JD Eagles. Thank you very much. This is for both of you. Were there some positives here for West Coast? Are they getting some things right? What's going on with West Coast?
Elite super comment.
Yeah, elite super comment. You know what? I've seen a lot of people say that like you can take plenty of positives out of this. I can't.
Yeah, I've been a bit of like half glass full, half glass empty. Which one's the negative one? The empty one.
The empty one.
Yes.
I'm glass like all the way empty with a hole,
empty glass
hole at the bottom of this.
So you've just got a cylinder.
I've got a cylinder. I've got
a pipe.
I got a pipe. A massive pipe. Not really. Medium size. Probably small. Anyway, regular to small. Anyway, it's I'm pipe here because this is not like what positive can you have? Richmond are the second worst team in the competition, maybe the third, and you've lost. Like in what's the positive to take out of this?
There is
Richmond's better than West
Liam
Coast.
Ryan looked good.
Yeah, but Liam Ryan has looked good all year.
No. Yeah, look.
Harley Reid was good.
Yeah, but we know Harley Reid's good. They've lost to Richmond, who at the start of the year were like, this team is going to be the worst team we've ever seen.
This team won't win a game all year.
Yeah, and now we're not winning a game. Like
Who's
it's
we?
West
Not
Coast.
me.
That's what I'm pretending to be, West Coast team. I like you can say, yeah, look at the positives. We've been competitive. You were competitive against a super bad team who lost, who you lost to. So I find that hard. You look at the game again, like they could have won. Fuck, if they had Gov out there, they win. And like if they had Yowie out there, they win. But you don't have these guys out there.
If John Worsfold came back.
Yeah, you know, if Ben Cousins was still in his prime and Jody was out there, they win.
Coxie
Anyway,
in the ruck, they win.
so I look at this game and I'm like, there were some signs, but you just, I can't have it. I can't have the glass half full when you've just lost to Richmond.
Dan,
I think we win next
agree.
week. By the way, I think we actually. I almost could guarantee a win against
playing?
the
St Kilda.
against St Kilda in Perth.
Where?
At Optus.
Yeah,
At Serbia.
Leadville Oval.
So you, Garrett, why?
It's coming. We're building.
You think
We're
Ross
building.
Lyon
Like think
won't
of,
have him fired?
what was that?
Ross Lyon won't have him fired up.
Oh, he will, but it doesn't matter. We'll beat him anyway. I legitimately think so. Essendon will close. Brisbane we played really well against. Hawthorn was like they blew us out in the end, but we played well against. We're just like I think we're building
You
to
didn't
a
do any
win.
of those things. You won one quarter in two of those games, and then the other
Yeah, Hawthorn beat you by 10 goals.
Yeah,
Brisbane
they
beat you
blew
by
us
four-
up, but
Brisbane beat
it
you
was
by
61 to
45
62 in three quarters. Like if you'd remove one quarter, which
Yeah,
we
but
got blown out in.
Okay, well, sweet. If you win the first centre bounce, you game over, is it?
Well, no, three
It's
quarters.
four quarters
So
of
at the end of there was three quarters. If you took one quarter out, so they blew us out
sounds
in
like
one
you're
quarter. But the
quite
rest
positive, Dan. You're quite
of it,
positive.
it was a very enjoyable game, and I was yelling at my TV for the first time in about 2 years.
Yeah,
because I was actually very interested in investing.
I was
in the
devastated.
result.
I really wanted him to win. Like I was watching that game and I was like, "Fuck, that hurts."
Gross was. I like Gross.
Yeah, so do I.
Gross
Why is he not
just
playing?
doing what he's.
Play him.
No, he should play.
Well,
He's,
yeah, why are they not playing?
he's
from the
energetic.
start?
He's good, but like that's such. It's a young kid who hasn't learnt to win, but like you look at him and he's like he wanted to pin.
I love
the
it.
He wanted to pin the ears back and win
Take
the
a
game.
bounce, kick your goal. Thanks for coming.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
But don't take the bounce after 3 steps, Tom.
There's been a fair bit
He
of chat
didn't
about
need
that.
the bounce.
You big bouncer.
No.
So
I reckon I've bounced 4 times in my whole life.
So 6PR do this interview on Mondays. So it rotates. Like some of them are sledges, some of them are not. From 2011 to 2013, so 11, 12, 13, I had 67 bounces.
Did you really?
So I was bouncing every
Wow.
other day, every other game, dominating.
You also like if
And
you're
then-
kicking out from full back though, you
Yeah,
often get a bounce in.
I was
from
bouncing. Man, I've got goals. I had 5 or 6 bounces.
Yeah, I've seen
right?
it.
Unbelievable. But then from 20, also just add to that stat, from 2017 through to 2020, those last 4 years of my career, I had 0. Yeah. But what about bouncing?
Bouncing 99.
Bouncing in primes, yeah,
Prime.
95.
Yep.
Bouncing is like it's a mindset thing. So they're not bouncing up to 3 or 4. I've heard plenty of punters. I heard punters at the pub talking about it. Like, and I'm saying you wouldn't know either, but like you wouldn't fucking know. Like he's not like, oh well, I'm counting my steps here. I'm gonna have a bounce.
Nah,
it's
just
like
I'm
it's
in
setting
the,
yourself to
I'm
like
in the flow.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna kick from 20 meters away. I'm gonna have to have a bounce between here and there.
Yeah.
I think I'm free now,
Let
so
me
I can
bounce.
run and then kick it.
Yeah,
That's
good.
what he's thinking. He's not like I've had four. I'm gonna bounce it.
1, 2, 3,
It's,
four,
it's
five.
about the distance you're running.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna need a bounce here.
Yeah.
When I
He-
shot
obviously
this
he
from
was-
45.
Yeah, it was very clear that he thought he was obviously free.
Yeah.
Duh. And like you don't bounce if you're in congestion. You bounce when you think you've got space.
Yeah.
And he obviously didn't realise that he didn't have the space.
Mate,
but it was closed pretty quick.
He's like blinkers on. I'm
Yeah.
kicking this from 45, and it's
Yeah.
going to be an absolute ticker tape parade back in.
Yeah, I'd like it. Go for it. Do it again. I don't care.
No, don't do it again. Don't do it again.
No, take the game on. I don't care.
Kick it to the top of the square. Kick it to Jake Waterman. And
No, kick the goal. Kick the goal.
no, if you're in that position again, don't do that.
Kick the goal, Grossi.
We got another super comment from
I'd love
Jay,
him to kick the goal.
Super
from
comment.
Jay Eagles.
Don't do that again.
Just saying West Coast won't win a game this season.
No, they will.
I agree. Was that me who wrote that in?
Are you JD Eagles? I think they win. I think they win next week, and other people agree with me on YouTube. So that means it's the right thing.
the right thing.
Hammer, do you want to do this?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
You've got the touch.
You got the power. Wow, what a round. What a round of defending.
Wow.
Jaiden and I locked in, and we have been actually for a few weeks now.
We've actually been pretty locked in on this show.
I've been accepting. You said we weren't. At the
No,
start,
I'd like
which was
to take
Is that
that
the
back.
reverse mods on
I'll
us?
put it at the end of our comment about your cousin.
Yeah. Now, I would just like to say, off the top of the, as we go into the Jack Buckley medal, things are heating up. Now, I have got an algorithm that spits out results that are ironclad.
Yes.
What does ironclad mean?
Like fucking locked in.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
A real different way to say
Look
a
it up.
synonym for locked
Look
in.
it up.
Yeah.
Look it up. Anyway, for anyone out there
Yeah, look it
who
up.
thinks that they are above the algorithm
Just-
or that they think they know things,
Excuse me?
don't be sending me things being like, if he doesn't get 5 votes this round, your algorithm's up. Don't be saying that.
Have you sort of
There's a
is
few
this
things-
Mason Redmond sort of areas where he was basically requesting votes?
Don't request votes.
Which we respect.
I
and
respect,
appreciate.
I respect it. But like, if you request votes and the algorithm doesn't give you votes, you're not getting votes.
That's right.
So I've had a few people come out, and I've heard we've got one certain Don from the Sash who is pretty adamant
Yes.
that someone should get votes this week. He's not getting votes.
That's Rob from the Sash.
Rob from the Sash, not Ron. Same thing.
I like Don.
Yeah, I think you
Don,
said Don.
Don the Sash.
Don from the Sash. Is even
Yeah,
better.
Rob from the Sash.
Yeah.
Was like Zach Reid has to get votes this week.
He was good.
He was good.
He was great.
He was excellent.
Does he get your votes?
He doesn't get the votes, mate, because there were other dour defenders. There were much more dour defenders throughout the round. Now, I'll get to the votes. And like, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to read you these 5
And you're not
votes.
saying that Zachary doesn't have a vote.
No, Zach Reid does not have a vote. I'm telling you that for right now. Zach Reid did not feature in the votes.
Would
And
love to know where he lists on.
He was about 8th.
Okay.
So like he was there or thereabouts.
I mean, you've got about, you've got 6 times 18 defenders. You've got almost 120 defenders.
yeah,
running
and he
around.
was
So
8th.
eighth.
He was 8th.
So well done, Zach.
well done,
top
Zach.
1%.
Good on you, Zach. Like really well done. Now, at the start, this was a really, really good round for our defenders. I said last week that I reminded everyone that Sam Taylor holds this year's record for the biggest score of 12.1. It hasn't been beaten, but that was the first time. That was the only time of the year that a score over 10 had been registered. This round, we had 3 10 pluses.
Wow.
A really, really good round of defending.
I would like to register this with Champion Data, this entire thing.
Yeah, obviously.
Because
It's not that hard to do.
Well, I hear all this crapola, right, about this player, Champion Data ranking points, blah, blah, blah.
What about the
this,
Jack
blah,
Buckley
blah.
ranking?
What about Jack Buckley rankings?
Here we go. 1 vote on the weekend. Now, you said this on the Shelter Footy cast. I actually heard you today. It just feels...
Did I?
No, not this guy. But like the game felt so long ago that you forget that it was in this round.
It's Thursday.
Thursday night. Darcy
It's
Moore.
Darcy Moore.
Darcy Moore with the 1 vote. Like, if you... I don't blame you for forgetting because it was fucking ages ago.
Because we're only 3 days away from the next
He was
round.
unbelievable
Yeah, he
in this
was.
game.
He
Like,
was.
he had the weight of the world, inside 50 after inside 50, we said, and he was just phenomenal. Marshaled the troops so well, and he was exceptional.
You've been on
And
him for a long time.
Has
this
been
year.
in really good form this year. Has been in exceptional form.
I reckon he's voted the most. Like, he's polled the most. He may not have had the
Yeah,
most
he hasn't
fivers.
really. Yeah, but he's polled some 1s and 2s. So 7 votes, that takes him up to. So I'm really, really happy with that. With the 1 vote, Darcy Moore. With the 2 votes, we've spoken about him before. Oh boy, what a round! What a game this guy had. He said to the fucking Brisbane Lions, "You aren't beating me.
Did he say
Give
Brisbane
me
or did he say
Charlie
Bucks?
Comben.
Oh, wow. Great.
Give
great.
me Charlie Comben
He
for the
was
2
elite.
votes. Unbelievable. He was phenomenal. And like 4, as you said, intercept marks in the last little bit. He refused to get beat.
I love that he's on 7 votes.
Yeah, refused to
Because I
get
like
beat.
him a lot.
He's
one of my
come out-
favourites.
He's in my top 5 current bonus.
And just so you know, he's only doing this because Jack Darling's at your football club bonus. Because last year,
Yeah,
he's
he's
having to
playing
go
forward,
forward,
yeah.
and bullshitting around down there. Keep him back.
Now, this is the next 3 was separated by about 0.6 of a score.
Oh.
And like
Sounds close.
really close. So all these 3 were above 10 points, which is phenomenal.
Is that like one stat off or like?
It's
can't
a
say. It's
couple.
just-
Can't
it's
tell
just
you
a-
what the
it's just a
algorithm is.
decimal
It's just a
in the-
decimal point. Okay. Now this guy, I'll tell you what. The other defenders in the comp are lucky that this guy come 3rd, not 5th, because he would have extended a bit more. Give me Sam
When he's-
Taylor.
Wow.
Do you mean first, not
my, yeah, same thing. Got 5 votes instead of 3.
Wow,
Sam
19
Taylor on the 3
votes.
votes was just out of this world.
It's 19 correct.
It's 19's correct. He was out of this world good.
Jeepers.
Hang on. What did Harris Andrews win on last year?
Nah, so there was the 3-2-1 system last year. We got a 5-4,
Good to know.
3-2-1 there.
Good to know.
It's a bit different.
Jeez, you're locked
He was phenomenal
You're locked
on
in.
this game.
You're so locked in.
I'm so locked in. Now Sam was good, but he was not as good as these 2. And as much we've spoken about this guy as well on the show today. I said Charlie Common said, "You're not beating me, Brisbane," and this guy said, "Well, hold my beer and let me spoil this thing 15 metres away."
Jackie boy
Jack
Payne.
Payne is putting together
Wow.
some season.
on
Jack
a
Payne
tear.
up to 15 votes, and he's on a heater.
We spoke about this last week. There's something building in Brisbane.
Something big building in Brisbane.
Big. There's a big sound.
There's a
in
big,
Brisbane.
big
big
areas
boys.
of big boys up there.
Can't
Now,
beat the boners. Can't beat the boners.
Can't
but
beat the boners.
It's
But
big
that-
thing
yeah,
building.
but that like you look at the
Not his
best
fault.
fullback duo in the comp,
Quarterback.
fullback and halfback. Jack Buckley and Sam Taylor, I think, have still got that claim.
Just
Maybe,
waning a little bit.
but like now that this guy's going, him and Harris Andrews are making a real claim at it,
The
and it's going to be real hard to I don't know what you'd call them.
They should do a tag
Good.
team match,
good.
Yeah.
like a wrestling tag team.
They
match.
should. That'd be
I
big.
vote.
All right,
Excited.
5 votes. Now this guy is registering his second 5-vote game for the season.
Holy
my gosh.
shit!
And like, I don't know if you watched the Carlton St Kilda game.
Yeah, I called
watch it?
I called it.
This guy
Hang on, who would do? Yeah.
obviously weren't paying too much attention because this guy was phenomenal.
Wow. Sometimes this is the point of the Jack Buckley.
It's the point of the Jack
Sometimes you just don't see
Nick Haynes.
Hainsey.
Hainsey. Nick Haynes with the 10 votes.
Wow, for 2
total.
games.
2 games. He's had 2 5s. This game blew up the algorithm. He was unbelievably
Was
good.
he?
Yeah. And St Kilda don't have a key forward. So this guy he was
I think what rattles me with Hainsey is he's got a new hairdo and he doesn't have the beautiful orange on.
yeah, he doesn't have the beautiful
Plays
one.
with new team. And round 1, I witnessed him in person. It was one of the worst games I've
Yeah, he was
probably
bad.
seen personally.
It was not great. But this was phenomenal.
He's back in business.
He's back in business. He was everywhere on the day.
Well,
Did everything that a defender needs.
Wow.
Nick Haynes, 10 votes. And if we rocket over to the leaderboard here, Jaiden, we have got some things. Sam Taylor is on 19 votes. We're super locked in there.
Sam Taylor's still on 16.
Don't worry about the 16.
Oh,
That's
no.
19.
Okay.
Jack Payne on
We're
15.
locked in.
Harris Andrews is third on the 12th. So we talk about the 2 boys up top. Like, look at those 2. That's pretty impressive. Nick Haynes has willed Carlton over the line again for 10 votes. Sam Collins just chipping away at 9. And then we've got the 3-way tie for 6th, which should be on 7 votes.
Wow.
And it's Darcy Moore.
At
Okay.
what point do you think that this
Now
is
that
not
I'm
locked
reading
in?
it, now that I'm reading this,
Jaiden.
There's a,
We
key,
are-
there's a key in the lock. It's starting to turn a little bit.
yeah, no, actually, Jaiden's right. That's on me. Jaiden's right. But I feel like someone's on 7 votes. I feel like Charlie Common's on 7 votes, and it is, and that's my fault, Jaiden, because I text Jaiden the wrong thing, so I was not locked in for a hot minute. But that is correct. 7. How Moore and Common are on 7, not 6. That's a.
Can I just ask before we finish this up?
Yeah.
When are we cutting the votes off? Public knowledge for the big Jack Buckley medal reveal. We give it just an approximate, or you're still waiting to say?
I'm still waiting. Yeah. Okay, how's this?
Because we're up to round 9.
We're up to round 9 of what, 20? If Sam
24.
24. If Sam Taylor, so Sam Taylor wears number 15.
Yep.
If Sam Taylor gets another 5-vote game between now and round 15, we'll shut it off after that round. But if it gets to round 15, we'll shut it off.
Okay.
Because if he gets another 5, he's way too far.
Don't understand, but I'm just
I
gonna-
know,
I'm just
I-
gonna-
What
It's
if
up
someone
here.
goes on a run and
I'm
just
locked
gets 6 5s in a row? You shut it off then?
Do you want me to shut it off now? Do you want me to shut it off?
I don't want to
Is
shut
that what
off.
you want?
If you're on YouTube, if you're listening along, let
Someone
us know if
said
you want to
round
shut it off.
17. That's
No, it's
way
that's
too
way
late, mate.
And the sash on YouTube says justice for Zach.
Okay, well, come on, Don.
Robbery. Donny boy.
Donny boy. Yeah, I'll think about cutting it off. I'm not sure when.
Hey, you know
Yeah, I
what?
gotta
Just
go.
yet, eh?
I'll go one more thing.
Can we, Jaiden, can I just butcher our run sheet and go to fines?
Sorry.
We just haven't had Hammer involved in fines.
No,
and
you haven't.
And I feel like have you put him in the thing? Great. So
Locked in.
We asked last week. So you haven't been here for fines. We've been doing
it's
them.
been a long time.
They've been brilliant. Last week a couple of rippers came.
A couple of
through.
really good ones.
And I just said, this is what I want. Jacko Bowen of Fistball fame just gave us the feelings and emotions doing the Freo game of getting their pants pulled down at quarter time. And I said,
Perfect.
give us the halftime, 3/4 time, post game. I want it all.
Yep.
And people responded. And the fines came out of the woodwork. And I don't know what these are, but I just want you to listen.
Yeah,
It's been
sure.
great. So if you want to get involved,
Yeah, give us a fine.
backchatpodcast.com.au/fines, right? Or just Google backchat fines and just press a button and tell us your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions.
Yep.
Find someone, find us. fine Henry for not inviting Hammer to the thing. All right, so get Hammer a gig at the wedding.
Do you reckon you go to the Bucks party?
No, remember. All right, let's just.
Oh wait, before we do that, I've got a super comment.
Super comment
For JD Eagles. It's just loving getting involved. Yeah. Will was losing his shit at the umpiring on the radio Friday night. It was funny as. So that was the.
I'm currently giving 6PR. Probably what they've never had is just a real loose operator on a Friday. Just come in there on a Friday evening and just tear shreds off everyone. Just tell me what I think, and I bloody love it.
All right, let's go. Let's hit it fine.
Legends first fine goes to Fox Footy. Kerry Underwood on there commentating.
Kerry.
$5. It's 2 cents for every milliliter of blood that came out of my ears.
Wow.
Second fine, Tommy Gross. $3. $1 for every step he took before he had a bounce in the last play.
Oh boy. So I will just dish back the fine straight back at you.
Kerry,
you fine anyone?
Get a name right.
Get a name right.
Yeah.
$5.02 for every milliliter. That's a lot of blood. Milliliter. Anyway, keep going.
G'day, boys. Bill here. Just want to find Scully, $1.75.
Fair.
Gonna give you a bit of a flashback, back to 2018. Boys are down 30-year reunion hippie club. Scully's over there in the corner. One of the boys walks up, Collingwood supporter he is. Goes, "You Will Schofield?" Scully looks up and goes, "Yeah, do you want a photo?" And he goes, "Nah, mate," and walks off. And I just want to say, from a West Coast supporter, embarrassed.
Embarrassed for who? Embarrassed for your mate. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, mate, do you want a photo? Nah.
I'm minding my own business, having the best time ever, likely.
Probably,
As every time.
I remember that night. I remember you saying that night was the best night
ever.
And I've got some Collingwood muppet going, "G'day, Scully. How are you, mate?" Like, what?
Yeah, come on.
You know what? $1.75 straight back at you.
Yep, that's fair enough.
See you, hippie club.
G'day, lads. Peter File here. Just want to find Hammer $1 for every person that his new family member has slept with any night. So, Hammer, that'll be $3,500. Thanks, mate.
Whoa, still works.
Straight from the 3.5
grinding in the background.
It's just fine to have a $3,500.
Fuck, that hurts. Shit, that's stiff.
That is the epitome of fines, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, he hasn't even put the grinder down. He's just, I love it. Keep it coming. Got more?
Hey, fellas. And Dan.
Yeah, like that.
Just putting in a fine for my wife. Yesterday, while cleaning the house on Mother's Day, which every wife loves to do,
Jeepers.
we discovered there was water left in the Thermomix.
Oh boy.
Now, my wife opened up the lid, and the stench that came from it smelled like all 4 of my kids had chucked a big shit in the Thermomix and let it there to cook.
Delicious.
It was freaking awful.
It's a bit like Freya's game.
I thought it might have been me that hadn't cleaned it properly, but it turned out to be my wife, my lovely wife.
Happy Mother's Day.
Decided to cook some pastry, took the pastry out, started to clean it, but left the water in there for about a week, just leaving the yeast there to settle. And Dan, Will, I know you guys are fathers. Don't know if you've experienced this, but your kid shitting in the bath, then you emptying the bath water to take the shit out, and that smell you get.
Did that ever happen?
It was 10 times worse than this. I had to run out the house gagging. It was freaking putrid. So $5 fine to the missus.
Yeah, that's fair.
Have you ever had your kid shit in the bath?
No, they haven't. Have you?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a very common thing to happen.
No, that hasn't happened to me.
Really? You're lucky.
They'll just jump out and go to the toilet because it's in the same room.
Oh.
I did see some poor lifesaver down at the Beatty Park pool fishing shit out of the pool. It's like
you
35
can't
minutes.
be
like
pooing in the
like
pool.
Literally just like 35
Like
minutes.
Spalding from
and then like
Caddyshack.
walking around and like picking it off the ground. Like, it was a big shit. Not sure what happened.
Any more fines, Jaiden? That's it. Hammer, before you go, can I show you one thing that I thought
mate.
that was funny?
Yeah, mate, as well.
Anyway,
when I was
gotta go, but
when I was watching the West Coast game very closely, I did notice, I think it was 3/4 time during the huddle, something happened and then the huddle had to be shifted. Jaiden, we got a bit of vision, and I think it's sort of come out what actually happened there. I don't know if...
I might need Hammer's reaction. I don't know what's going on here, but...
Jaiden, you...
Oh, you've thrown...
Yeah, you've thrown him. We've thrown him.
Okay.
Nah, that's
You
fine.
said we were locked in.
Oh,
Said
We are.
said
We're
locked
so
in.
locked in. Here we go. In
I'll explain what happens. So the huddle starts, and then all of a sudden, the whole circle moves about 5 meters. And actually, I can't explain it. You actually need to see it.
Yeah, I think 4.
Yeah, so like
Sounds like we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
3. I don't know how we go 2.
So I was correct in saying that we weren't locked in.
No, we got like 1.
You stuffed the Jack
hang on
Buckley
a minute. No, I didn't stuff. I actually stuffed the Jack Buckley up,
You
but
did.
not
So
the.
I just said that.
Not the votes. I just stuffed the. I got 6 instead of 7. So sue me, fucking hell.
Hey,
and
is it important or not?
it is, but we'll get there.
Is it very important?
It is, but
Is it the most important thing we do?
yes, by a long
I
way.
don't think we've had an episode where you've nailed it.
Oh, I've nailed it the last.
I think
3
last
weeks.
week. I think last week he was pretty good.
And
clean.
you can't. Well, hang on a minute. You can't ask Jaiden to be locked in when you're just throwing random things at him.
That's a good point.
Well,
That's a
in
good
my
point.
defence, I did give it to him with plenty of time, and I think and as part of it.
It also has been about a minute and a half.
Jaiden's downloading it off LimeWire or whatever. What are they like?
Frostwire.
Yeah, Pirate Bay.
Pirate Bay.
Pirate Bay. What a joint that was.
So what's happened to any of that?
Here we go.
anymore?
I'll forget about it. We're
It's
back.
just YouTube. Is
Okay,
that-
so watch the what's the Huddles movie, right? There's a few smiles. Watch Liam Ryan here. He's gone.
Someone's obviously fired.
And then watch Elijah.
Go again. Can we watch it again?
Just now. I want you to watch Elijah Hewitt. I reckon we found the culprit of like
Elijah.
why the entire huddles had to be shifted.
Ruben's just walked through the back of
filthy.
it.
Watch Hewitt here. Looks at Liam.
Tell us what's happened.
So someone's obviously farted. We
Yeah.
talk about shit in a bath. Well, how about just farting in the middle of a huddle?
There's
It's
some
It has to have
terrible.
been that bad that in an open area, open area.
Some of the worst you've ever smelled is pre-game. We're talking carbo loaded for like 4 days.
Yeah, that's big. That is just a bloke who has said, "I've just sorry." I've
Who's
just-
found that? That's brilliant.
I've put my-
I noticed it happening on the weekend, but then when I was on Reddit today, someone posted like Liam Ryan not happy. Look at that face from Elijah. That's funny.
All right, get out of here.
Get out of here.
See ya.
Roy.
Any final wishes for Hammer?
No, actually, I've got a 20-minute segment. I thought I'd love you to say. Roy on YouTube says this is being close to the worst segment on BackChat in 2025. Close to the call to the guy running. Remember when we called that guy who was running?
That was last week.
That was last week.
What? So what's the segment that was poor?
This
The
like
ratings?
trying to show you this.
Oh, okay.
Trying to show you this video.
I thought the ratings off the top was pretty poor.
No,
to be
it was
honest.
okay. It was fine. Well, let's go to a couple more things before we.
Have we heard anything? Didn't we get an email back from Runner's wife who thanked us?
Oh, did we? I
I'm
didn't
sure
see
that-
it. I didn't see it.
She
No one said it to
thanked
me.
us for. She thanked us for the approach. She
Putting
could
him
have even
on
sent in a
blast.
fine. You boys have had howlers setting this show up today. I reckon she sent either a fine in or an email saying thank you. You've embarrassed us. You've embarrassed yourselves. Anyway, I just have
Yeah.
training things. Yeah, no worries, mate. Don't use the other. Yeah, you're fine.
Use the toilet in the other room,
That's
brother.
right.
That's all good. All right. Last week,
Might as
Willie
well pissing
Rioli.
a Thermomix out the front.
Willie Rioli removed himself from selection for the showdown against Adelaide. However, the AFL eventually chimed in with essentially you can't quit, you're fired, and has suspended him for the week. Will, if players are knowing that they're going to get suspended, should they just suspend themselves so it looks like it was their decision?
Yeah, I like where you've gone with that. I think potentially
It's like
we
you
could
can't
see in
break
the
up with
future-
me, I'm breaking up with you.
It is. We could see in the future. You're Curtis Taylor.
Yep.
You've just run down someone, one of the brilliant. But you're like, that's gonna be 3 weeks.
Yep.
I'm going to come out, put something out on my social media,
Get
and
full-
say, "Hi guys, thanks for watching on the weekend.
Jake Waterman here.
I'm out for 3 weeks.
Yep.
I'm suspending myself.
Yes.
Jake Waterman.
It's not you. You didn't suspend me. I did it to myself.
Because so just like a sort of serious part about this, like this is literally what happened here. Like
Yeah.
there was
Because then
back
shouldn't the
and
suspension be for 2 weeks?
there was back and forward, and there was whose fault is it? Who's gonna lay the authority, which we've seen with Bolter, which we've seen numerous times over the last 6 months with the AFL. To be honest, hands back, we don't hear from anyone. It looked like Willie and Port Adelaide were like, well, they're not going to suspend him. We're going to do it, and we're going to make him the scapegoat to sort of like take responsibility for his own actions. Which again, I'm a big proponent of personal responsibility, so I don't hate it. Other than, why didn't the AFL just come out and suspend him? Why did it take so long? It seemed ridiculously long to go and do it.
Well, do you think they were like, oh, he suspended himself? Like, what are we supposed to do now?
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's
add
what it
another
looks
week?
like. That's what it looks like. But they took so long to do it.
Yeah, too long.
And Willie has to suspend himself from the showdown. And they lose. Lost by a goal.
Yes,
He suspended himself from a win.
that's true.
Boy, yeah, I didn't love it, but I just didn't get
I
much
wonder
of an
if
opportunity
you
to speak about
imagine
it
if
at
you're
the
like
weekend.
running and you ping a calf, you're like, oh boy, that's a
G'day guys,
that's
just coming out.
a couple of weeks, and then you go out and just punch someone because you're like, I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks with an injury. You may as well make it worthwhile.
Well, they sort of did that with grand finals. Like they doubled the suspension.
Yeah, that's right.
For that exact reason, as well as retiring. So the
Yes.
Alistair Lynch rule, effectively, like he was done, he was retiring. I think his hamstring was cooked, and he just started belting on with Wakeland. And it's like since I think 8 weeks became 16 weeks.
Yes, I think Warren Treadray actually talks about it in a podcast episode that is being released this week on BackChat Wednesday, full hour with Warren Treadray.
Is that a segue?
Yeah.
Of well done.
It
Dan.
wasn't deliberate; it just sort of happened organically.
Well,
which is the best
Warren
ones.
Treadray was right there in that game. He
Yes.
was with.
Was he with Acker?
I think. Yeah.
Wasn't
yeah.
he just standing with Acker watching?
Maybe Burgoyne was Peter or Sean was
Yeah,
lurking
someone
around
was
there as
there.
well.
Yeah.
It's a great chat with Warren Treadray. We did it over at Gather Round. We had Eddie Maguire this week, which has done very well.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to Warren doing as well because I didn't understand the full history of Port Adelaide.
Did you know, this is going to sound dumb on my behalf, did you know that the captain always wears one at Port?
I mean, once he'd said that, I was like, oh, yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah, Trav Boak.
I was like, oh, why'd you wear one for 2 seasons? He's like, because I was captain for 2 seasons. As if and then I was like, oh, I didn't. Yeah.
See, I like that.
Oh,
Do you
yeah, I like
that?
it a lot. I love it. It's a Port Adelaide thing that they were doing before they joined the AFL.
Port Adelaide tradition.
Yeah, exactly that. All right.
Was that Adelaide? No.
No, you've got that right. Or Essendon. Zach Merritt has escaped suspension after being cleared by the match review officer for high contact on Nick Blakey during the final quarter of Essendon's clash with Sydney Sky. Is this a good result? And why didn't Bo Allen get the same treatment?
Let me tell you that this is a great result. If you've heard this podcast, if you're just here, let me tell you what I've been banging on about all year. Let's suspend the action and not the outcome. This incident was an outcome-based thing. Nick Blakey got knocked out. But the action, eyes for the footy, swinging arm, got the ball, knocked him out. That's a footy action that shouldn't be suspended. So I love the fact that Zach Merritt is still, 1, eligible for the Brownlow 2, playing next week, and I think Essendon fans are happy too. But why does Bo Allen get a week?
Exactly.
Why are they suspending Curtis So I don't want to be too negative here, Dan, because they have done exactly what I've been asking for. So well done, AFL. Well done, Michael Christensen.
I think Christensen is the F1 guy.
I keep saying Christensen.
I think it's Michael Christian.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, AFL.
Mikey, no. That's Michael Christensen.
Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, AFL. Thank you, AFL. Suspend action, not outcome. Well done.
Oh, it's Michael Massey, by the way. That's the F1 guy.
But also,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just hope it's consistent.
Yeah, same. I just justice for Bo Allen. Like the Eagles should be taking that tape. And
Is he
going,
going to be back in next week? I hope so.
Nah. Oh, I don't know.
You wouldn't drop anyone. Such a great effort.
Well, I just don't. I want.
Tom Gross.
I mean, Clay Hall. Just put
Luca Grego?
put
Or
Luca
is that
Grego.
with that?
Put Clay Hall in.
We don't have to say Luca Grego. Like, obviously, we want him in.
I don't know what they want him to do at waffle level in order to get a game.
Maybe.
Does he need 30 touches 3 weeks in a row? I don't know what the KPI is for Luca.
Maybe they're saving Luca for the win. Like, maybe they're just like, well, we know we're going to
they're
win when
putting him
Luca
this week.
Grego is in the side. We're just going to wait till that moment.
Bunbury against North Melbourne or something.
Could you guarantee that when Luca Grego plays at West Coast win?
Yes, I can guarantee that. Absolutely.
Awesome.
We've got one email here to read
Great.
to you, and it comes with a photo.
You
so Jaiden,
send it. We hardly read it.
there we go. So this is from Dean.
If you'd like to send one in,
hello@backchatpodcast.com.au.
send us an email.
Yeah, and a comment here on Instagram Live, which you can watch on Instagram Live, by the way. I've been following along. Fishboy007 says, boys, what would happen if Gross got concussed?
Yeah. So someone asked.
Because that was a good tackle.
Yeah, someone asked me this on radio. Like, it was a rundown tackle. He did hit his head,
Yeah.
actually. But as if in a million years, anyone, West Coast fans or other, want to see that suspended.
no
Like, it
ways.
was a brilliant chase down tackle, and we're all talking about it. But just imagine if he had have got knocked out from that and it was a free kick against. Can you imagine? Okay, West Coast fans say, oh, yeah, that'd be awesome, we win. But if you just think about, just take your emotions away, take your fan. Imagine if that tackle...
If it was against my team, I would be filthy.
if
Like if...
you're a Richmond
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, exactly.
So I still think, mate, you can just take your fan off a little bit. You need that in the game. Like, you'll get your opportunity. Liam Duggan will run someone down. Liam Ryan will run someone down. You need that in the game. So, yeah.
So this is the email, and it does go in this theme of concussion. This from Dean. Love the show, but just a little pissed at the lying F words at AFL House.
Okay.
They say...
We should have told Hammer this. No, this feels like Hammer's areas.
They say they would have stopped the game sooner if they were aware of Lockie Schultz here, as you can see on the screen, who's lying on the floor, unconscious at this point. He's
absolutely unconscious,
he's knocked out.
cockroached. He got massive. It was a footy incident as well.
Yeah. So
absolutely unconscious.
How can this umpire run straight past him after he's been down for 5 to 7 seconds, as seen in the picture below? Yet they can see a free kick from 100 meters away.
I couldn't agree more with that. Other than like this specific picture, the umpire's looking at the play. It's the players over there. They're not running around scanning the ground for players. It's not a war zone. But the play went on, and there was a stoppage sort of on the half forward flank. I couldn't agree more. How this game was not stopped. Darcy Moore. All right, that's how much I couldn't agree more with it. He was interviewed after the game on Fox Footy and was like, I can't believe the game wasn't stopped. And I was exactly the same. And for the AFL to come out and say, oh, the umpires didn't see it, oh, we would have stopped it earlier. Bullshit, and you didn't see it. The bloke then was with trainers, which, you know, that's another story altogether. But, like, he collapsed. He stood up and collapsed once.
Yep. He did the, you know, when like guys get knocked out and your arms, like you said, the cockroach thing. Like, it was very obvious he was knocked out.
Mate, he was on the ground. Look, I don't know. Well, I do know how to fix it. They need an independent AFL doctor at every game, not in people's ears, like right there. And that's their job. They're there to look for concussions, for head knocks, and for unconscious players. And the game gets stopped immediately. And we sort that out. Because to have the game going on around, and not, well, certainly not making light of it, to make even more of a serious point. I was at Gosnells Footy Club on Saturday night.
Yep.
Cashy, shout out. OTO, go on.
They're cracking down on that.
But the Gosnells Footy Club, right? And I spoke to a guy. They coined a medal for the best on ground that day, and his brother had passed away in an incident exactly like this. He was playing as a 19-year-old for Gozzy Footy Club.
During the game.
He got hit exactly like this.
Yep.
That exactly the same thing happened. They dragged him. He ran off and he was trying to get himself off.
Yep.
Got into the rooms. Said he had a massive headache. Collapsed and he died in the ambulance on the way. So I spoke to his brother on the night at Gosnells Footy Club.
Yep.
And you can imagine what that means. You know, he's 40, 45 years old now, so it was quite a long time ago. But that's something like that could happen in an incident like this. And we're just going to play the game on. Like, this is the elite level. If we want to make a stand on concussions, if you want to take head knocks seriously, if you want to start reporting and suspending these players on outcome-based decisions, which we're doing, right? You need to stop the game here. And the fact that they couldn't see it with four umpires and they can pull free kicks from absolutely underneath their eyes.
As Roy says on YouTube, umpires can smell a blood rule from a kilometre away.
Yeah, mate, they got this wrong. And no one would have an issue, right, other than probably the legalities of it.
Yep.
Of the AFL coming out and say, hey, we did get this wrong. We saw it. We just thought we could get away with the goal being kicked and we just get him off the ground.
Yeah.
Please.
Speaking of blood rule, did you see Harry Edwards get that blood rule on the weekend?
Late.
And he was filthy. He saw it and he was like, fuck, this means I'm off.
Yeah. I mean,
he was good.
There's not much. Good. Yeah, he was. That was the best game he played all year. There's not much you can do about that.
Yep.
Blood rules, blood rules.
I think you do.
Talking about blood rules, Jack Della Maddalena, new world champ, by the way.
Mate,
have you seen his head today?
Yeah, and the other guy's face.
His lip,
his lip
like
was
an axe.
in half.
It was like he took an axe to it.
Oh,
that's
shout
a brutal
out
sport.
JDM.
That is a brutal sport. But Jack Della is the new world
zone.
champ. He's got the title. He's holding it, and I think it's looking like he's going to be fighting Islam Makhachev here in Perth, who Volk did the same thing here.
Yep. Except he's got the belt, right? So Islam can
Volk
take the belt.
Correct.
Because Volk was trying to win two,
something like that.
Yeah.
We could be getting this wrong, but I think
I think we've absolutely nailed it. Sienna on Instagram says, "Tell Elijah and Tim Kelly I love them."
Will do.
So
Tim, Elijah, Timothy,
they're always here.
We love you.
So that's gone, and apparently that's just stopped there on my phone. That's it for this week. Anything else you want to add? I will just one quick
Been a
one.
fun show.
Peter Rees and Brunos Barbarians, so
Sorry.
Peter R and Vaughan R, both with 8 tips this week.
Yeah.
And their margin both 2.
Yeah, but we don't give out. It's the lowest combined total. But if we're sending out 2 cartons, great. Well done, boys.
Well, let's just do it. Let's send.
I'm coming 220th. I currently am $2,200 in the hole.
Okay.
Thanks to that bet that we made with
All
$10 to each person that beats me and Hammer. So I'm actually $1,100 in the hole because Hammer's going to share it with me.
Yep.
How are you going? You're beating me.
193.
I've got
I'm
6.
so bad. I keep saying
You're so bad. I'm 220th.
I keep going for the legend round where it's like I got 9 and perfect margin. I just need to tip properly. Like just tip the people who are going to win the game.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be a legend.
Oh deal. I didn't pick the
what I do.
Giants this week like an absolute idiot. Like I just don't know what I'm thinking.
Yep. Well, get better, please. Big shout out to our sponsors and partners: Paywise, TABtouch, Shelter Brewing Co, Whippersnapper Whisky, ID Athletic, Mamba Digital, On One Services, and Camera Electronic.
And
you look like you're about to say something.
Before you leave,
Yep.
tell your friends.
Yes.
Share it with your mates. Tell them what we're doing. We've got the footy interchange on Tuesdays. We've got our guest chat Wednesdays. We've got a golf show that's going off its head. The swing of it. Hammers on that Thursdays.
Yes.
Fridays, Hammers Happy Hour. We've got a show every day of the week. Tell your friends. This is all you need. You probably only need to consume BackChat. It's probably all you need in your life.
Send it around. And send us an email, hello@backchatpodcast.com.au, and give us a fine.
Connection.
backchatpodcast.com.au /fines. Record it. It's that easy. See you next week.
Okay, bye.